All right, today is Wednesday, the 21st of October. This is what we're doing for the day. First thing is, remember, we only have 8 days left until the report cards come out. You're going to be turning in a completed magazine draft this coming Friday. So that's only 3 days. So definitely you may want to consider working ahead. And the way you can see what to do with that is right here. So the video instructions for creating the tagline and the magazine deck tagline is right here. The main image instructions is right here. I'll have these set up soon, but I'll show you a preview of, or actually one that was finished as a first draft for my class last year. Another one, and that's not the right one. Let me go here. Let's go cryptids. So you can see this is the type of thing that was turned in for the first draft. So a lot of it's we're breaking it down into pieces by manipulating the masthead first, and then working on photoshopping the main image. And then tomorrow we'll start to play around more with how to create hierarchy within the fonts, and then placing barcodes, getting the volume information, the date, the time, or not time, the price, and other things like that. So that's what the next set of details will end up being. Now, as far as today, what you're going to be submitting is this. After you've worked on doing manipulation to your main image, go ahead and place it in your magazine cover document. Then go ahead and choose one of the mastheads that you feel is the most refined so far and place that into your magazine document. Once you have that in, go ahead and take a screenshot of those two pieces together and go ahead and submit. You could also include, screenshots of the headline, or sorry, the masthead and the magazine deck, the little slogan that goes next to it as well. But the primary thing I'm looking for is I want to see your image manipulation that you've been able to work on so far. Does not mean that has to be the final version of what you've got. You'll continue to work on that tomorrow, but I do have some activities you're going to work on in creating hierarchy with text. So there's going to be a partial assignment before you actually do it with your own article names. You can start to search for barcodes, though. If you want to start looking for barcode images online, you can use those. You can even start trying to put in the details based on what you've seen from previous demos. The other thing to keep in mind is you are still planning to attend 2 Adobe Max sessions. The sessions, like I said, are like a half hour to an hour long. That's it. So it's not a huge amount of outside of class time on this. Since you do only have 3 classes, this shouldn't be too much of a struggle. What I would recommend is I've found that using the app on your phone works a little bit better. Not only does it work a little bit better, but it also has an archive of older sessions. So you can actually go back and watch some of the other sessions. That's part of what I did yesterday. So since I didn't get a chance to watch them during class, I went through and I started watching them after class and then into the evening. I went and I just took random notes here. This is really more for myself, less about what you're going to end up having. But this is notes that I found. This Draw with Drew was really cute. 10-year-old girl working, whose mom was the editor of Time Magazine for Kids, working with their creative director and set up a theme a week for little drawings. And it was super adorable. They were having pictures, kids drawing things from all over the world. There's a playlist and stuff that was there. This Type Safari with Sarah Heidman. She is an amazing author, has a book out that's called Why Fonts Matter. And she did this really cool idea of going around with Google Street View and looking at signage all over the city and tying it into art history, which I thought was pretty interesting. The InDesign Type one, I would probably avoid that. It's pretty high level and it's really dry, but it was interesting to me because this guy, I've read tons of his books. He's really good, but as far as the applicability for you, I don't think it's as good. Same thing with professional learning community. That's more for the teachers. This augmented reality is interesting. I want to try something out. I made some notes about like, what could I do with these programs? And that's really my big thing when I go to these conferences is what could I do to bring this back into the classroom and come up with a project or an idea to use. And I've got an idea with this visual quote. The downside is it's only available on the iOS devices right now. They're doing a beta test on PCs, but I don't know if that'll work on the Chromebook. So stay tuned. I might have something for that. Illustrator workflows, I would avoid that one for right now. That one's pretty intense. This one's really interesting. Messages that matter, how creative tools empower young arts activists. I found this one to be really, really interesting. Yeah, Pixar in a Box. I've used their stuff before. I just haven't taken the notes down on that yet. I'm in the middle of watching that one right now. So that's pretty much where I'm at. Anyways, back to what you have. You have a reflection sheet that's right here. You need to make sure that you take a screenshot of the session when you're in it and write down all the notes. You're going to write two to three paragraphs of reflection for each of the 2 sessions. Write down the name, the date, and the time. And that is what we're looking at for Wednesday.